Hello and welcome to TradingLounge. This is Alessio and this is NVIDIA top-down analysis for March 4th. So we're gonna start from the monthly chart, as you can see, and we'll take a look at every time frame, see how the sub counts divides, and then we'll see if we can see some trading opportunity using the trading levels here at TradingLounge. So as you can see, just briefly, a potential 1 and 2, flat wave 2, potential diagonal to wave 1. We'll take a closer look at it on the weekly. So here right now we are on the monthly chart, and then a beautiful move to the upside into what appears to be a cycle wave 3, pairing up to this wave 1. So here's some fib targets. We passed 1.618 of 3, this 3 here against 1 at $159, and now next target would be 2.2036, 3 against 1 at roughly a bit south of $1,000, 959, which it looks like eventually we're going to get there. Obviously being wave 5, obviously being 1,000 a trading level pattern, TL1. So moving on to the weekly chart here, as I mentioned, diagonal into wave 1, that's what it looks like we have. I see this as a flat in wave B, and it looks like we're now moving lower into wave C. So a 3-wave move, which so many times what happens is that the wave after a diagonal, so the move after a diagonal will usually end at the wave 2 of the diagonal, so this area here, and you can see here this is well respected, which basically provides us with additional confidence. So that being said, focusing on cycle wave 3 here, a 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 to complete with the 2021, the end of 2021 highs, where the whole stock market topped, the whole American at least stock market, as well as obviously the Europeans tend to follow, as well as it's a bit different in Asia, but Europeans and American tend to move together. Anyways, here you could argue this is 1 2 1 2. I mean, you could move this wave 2 in here, for kind of force it as a flat, and however at that point you could kind of need to put wave 3 in here and 4 in here, and then move higher here into wave 5. But at that point, if you have a 1 2 3 4 5, then you're left with what? A wave 1 and 2 of wave 3, of cycle wave 3, and at that point you would start to need to see very high targets. Which, is it possible? I guess you could say that it is possible. It doesn't break any rule, but I mean, when it comes to trading, it's always better to be conservative. So if you're wrong, at least you took the conservative wave. So and then I don't really see right now the point of being too bullish. If right now we can, I mean, going to the daily, we can start focusing on the most recent move to the upside here into what appears to be cycle primary wave 5. Now, if this is primary wave 5, everything needs to be moved 1 degree higher, so this would need to turn into intermediate, and so on and so forth. So this way, the way you see it right now, with a 1 2 3 4 here, sideways 4, and a sharp wave 2, so we have alternation here, and then upside, which we're going to be focusing on in just a second here on this move to the upside. Again, either this is intermediate degrees, and we topped at, right now the next obvious point, next obvious level would be TL1 at 1,000. That's where being 1 the strongest number in the market. So either that, and then again this would be intermediate, we pull back, or else, which is also possible, this is actually minor degree, wave 1 intermediate degree, 2 intermediate of this wave 5, and then resume higher. And at that point we could see further upside targets. And let me just take you briefly back to the monthly, because at that point, if we bring in the Fib tool and we look for their targets, if you look at 2.618, that stands at roughly 3,000. And then again, at that point we could easily see that being reached, if not even 4.618, which is another common target. But as you can see yourself, that would be crazy high. Again, possible, but I would just like to stick with this 3,000 for now. But yeah, it is possible. It's also worth mentioning that many times wave 5 is as long as wave 1. So equality of this primary wave 1 and 5 was represented here. So let me delete this old one. Oops, wrong one. It's represented here at $380. So we passed that, we touched 1.618, and at this point we could either touch 1,000, so trading level 1, and then pull back lower, or else just move to the upside. Now it's been said, let's go back to the daily, and let's focus on this move here on the intraday chart. Now let me get rid of this. Looking at the intraday, simply within the patterns, and let's hide minor levels. So here with the pattern trading levels, so I have this one as a 1-2 complex correction. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Pete has it as a 1-2-1-2. So he has wave 2 in here and then a 1-2. Now both are possible. I personally prefer this count because I see this as a choppy move to the upside here in what I label as wave X. I just see it as a wave, a 3-wave move, A, B, C, as you can see. And then at that point, I do go with this is either wave 4 or it's the wave 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So nonetheless, at this point, what really matters is that we seem to have a trading level pattern here on 800. So while we, and as you can see here, we have rival, the reaction, we now seem to be having the first high above the level. So we could wait for on an even smaller time frame, so the hourly chart, if you don't even go onto the tick chart like Peter likes to do, and then at that point look for something like this. So it's possible. So yeah, we seem to have the setup, seems to be in place. We seem to be finding support on this level, major level 8, TL8, trading level 8 at 800, and next logical target would be 900 being median level, and then at that point TL1, trading level 1 at 1000, as I mentioned before. So yeah, simply this on the hourly chart seems to be a wave 1, 2, and now we seem to be moving to be headed higher into a 3. So that's basically setup. Again, next, we don't know if this is minor or intermediate yet. We'll see eventually, but we seem to be moving higher. If we take a look at volume, then yes, we pull back with lower volume, and now we're starting to move back higher with higher volume. So that's bullish. It's basically telling us that this move is supported by volume, which is what we want to see when we resume to the upside in this specific example. So this is it for me, and yeah, cheers.